welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sonja J. And as you can see from the title, I'm back with another Teen Mom review. I'm sure you guys can hear my background is a little bit annoying, okay? The garbage people are here today. They're collecting the garbage, you know, from the apartments. And there's also some people out there in the front chopping down trees. You know, there's a lot of maintenance going on at my apartments, which is a good thing because at least the apartment's always is looking good, but they're doing maintenance right now. So there's noises in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but I can hear it. So I'm gonna try to talk louder so you guys can hear everything I'm saying and blase blase. So let's get into this review of the latest episode. Okay, so the first person we're going to talk about today is Kayla. So basically, we're going to keep her short and sweet because not too much happened. It's pretty much the same thing it's been. But let's talk about her first. So her sister-in-law, well, technically, because the baby's involved. Luke's sister is planning on throwing her a gender reveal party. So she's going to be throwing her a gender reveal party. So we will see what gender the baby will be. I already know, and if you read the blogs and stuff, you already know what she had. But she'll be having a gender reveal party on the show soon. She gets along very well with Luke's family, which is good. That's great. So that's a good thing. She gets along with them well. Basically, there's a whole confusion about whether or not she wants to move and where Luke's gonna move and all that. Okay, so how I feel about the situation is, okay, so Kayla's basically saying she doesn't want to move while she's pregnant. She would prefer to stay where she's at because she really likes her doctor and she wants to stay here for her doctor's visits during her pregnancy, and she also wants to have the baby out here because she really likes her doctor. And then also, like, she wants to move with him, but she's kind of conflicted because one of the doctor situation, two, it's like, you know, she moves, she's gonna move away from everything she knows. Also, it's not like they're married and they haven't been together for that long, so it's kind of like, I don't really want to, but I might have to kind of thing. How I feel about it is, I mean, it's like this. I understand where she's coming from because I feel like, you know, finding a good doctor, finding good medical care is important, especially when you're pregnant, because it is important where you birth your baby. It is important who you have, you know, checking you out during your pregnancy and who you have delivering your baby and having a good rapport with your doctors. Like, all that is important. And then on top of that, you know, you're just being where you want to be, being where you're comfortable, being where you're loved. That's important too, just in general in life, you know. And then, I mean, she's right, you know, it's not like they're married and they ain't been together that long for her to like up and move with her son across the country with him. I get that, I get all that. However, at this point, to be honest, and I hate saying this because I do hate the fact that in a lot of situations, it is kind of like, you know, when it comes to like a man and a woman when they get in a relationship or relationship period, once you start getting really serious, the woman always has to, you know, drop everything she's doing to be with the man and do what he wants to do, you know. That's just what it is. And it's not, in certain situations it is kind of fucked up because it's like, this is always the case. And in some situations, you know, it's not a bad thing because it's actually to better the woman's life, you know. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing in some situations. However, it just kind of sucks that that's always the situation, you know. Like a guy and a girl gets together, they fall in love, and then wherever the guy goes, the girl has to go. And, you know, because that's kind of what the case is. It's like, you know, even if Kayla wants to stay, if she really can't. Let's just be honest, she can't. If she actually wants to be in a real relationship with Luke that's actually lucrative, where they're actually having a healthy relationship, they're seeing each other regularly, she doesn't have to worry too much about the cheating. And listen, he could cheat on her, even if she moves with him, he can still find a way to cheat on her, but it's way less frequent and less of a worry to, you know, feel like, oh, is he cheating, could he be cheating, if she's actually living with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's less likely for him to cheat if she's actually living with him to where he can, you know, sleep with her. So if she actually really wants this relationship to work and it to not really be a whole cheating scandal and it's actually real genuine relationship and he's active in his child's life, he's active in Isaiah's life and all that, she would have to move with him. That's just what it would have to be. If she wants an actual, real, legit relationship, she wants him to actually legitimately be in his child's life and them to actually coexist together regularly as a regular family, she would have to move. It's unfortunate, but that's just what it is. And that's just what it is. And honestly, I mean, that's what happens, Kayla. I mean, you know, and I mean, she was taking birth control, so I'm not gonna sit here, you know, she just happens, I guess, throw it up one day. I don't know. But I mean, that's just what happens, though. You know, when you move too quickly with a dude you barely know, and you get pregnant, you don't, you know, you gotta make big girl decisions. That's really it. And also, Luke said that Isaiah is his too. Okay, like he's like that baby mine, and so is Isaiah. Okay. I don't know how Steph is gonna feel when he hears that, and you know what? Who gives a fuck? Moving on. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about Rachel. Alright, so we hear now in this episode that Rachel has a lot of daddy issues. Not just Rachel, pretty much everybody in her life has daddy issues. You know, Rachel has daddy issues, her sister has daddy issues, and even Jacob has daddy issues. His dad wasn't around, but he's claiming that his mom wouldn't let him be around his dad or whatever. I don't know, but he wasn't raised with his dad. Rachel, you know, wasn't raised with her dad, and she's kind of, I guess, feeling like she wants to reconnect a little bit, just a little bit. And also with her being a new mom and realizing and thinking about how her dad wasn't in her life, she's really, 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 really wanting a father for her daughter. She really wants Jacob to be that father for her. She wants Jacob, you know, to be what her father never was for her. So, you know, they were talking about their daddy issues, and we really get to hear Rachel's side and how she feels about her issues with her father. And then this episode, her sister was going through it. You know, I mean, basically she admitted to her friend and even to her mom that she feels like, hey, look, I don't think I can be a mom to this little girl. And it's, you know what? It's like this. And last week, because I was getting in on her, because I was like, listen, sis, like, I understand you want to have fun and be young because you are young, but if you're going to be a mom, you got to do a lot fucking better. Like, you ain't doing shit but scarring this little girl into thinking that you just care about partying more than you care about her. Let's just be honest. And the girl's only 1 year old, but days go by, weeks go by, months go by, years go by. And if this behavior continues, your little daughter's going to see that. And then in this episode, we see that she admits she's not ready to be a mom. And not only is she admitting she's not ready to be a mom, she's also saying that she's considering giving her daughter up legally to her mother. Now that, I wasn't expecting that. However, I mean, you know, let's be honest, if she really feels like she can't do it, and she really just keeps doing what she's doing, she honestly might as well. I mean, you know, it happens. I mean, it's not a normal thing. It's not something that happens all the time. And I apologize, you guys, for the noise in the background. I'm hoping that once I post this video, it's not too bad, but I can hear it, so I just feel like you guys can hear it a lot. But hopefully, it's not picking up as much. But anyways, I mean, you know, and it's like her mom was also saying something about, well, why don't you just move back in here? Because I guess, you know, their grandmother, which is her mom's mom, raised all her kids while she was on drugs, and while their father was on drugs. The mom's mom, which is their grandmother, was raising them. Then I guess somewhere in between time, she came back and got the kids back, and then they moved in with her. But I guess the sister, I think her name is Mallory, ended up still staying with the grandmother. So she had her daughter, but she still stayed, or she lives with the grandmother. And her sister and her brother live with the mom still, and you know, the baby, Rachel's new baby, lives with the mom. But the other sister, Mallory, lives with her grandmother. And so I guess the mom was saying, like, well, why don't you move back here? I don't know if she really wants to move back in with her mom, but even if she does or doesn't, that doesn't mean that she's going to still be a good mom. Yeah, she'll be in your roof and you'll be able to watch her more, but all she's going to do is do the same thing she's doing now. The only difference is, like, she's just sleeping at your house now. So, you know, she honestly might need to do that. And then Rachel and her mom got in an argument later down on the episode. How I felt about that in that situation, it kind of, in a way, it kind of made me feel, and I'm not trying to sit here and, you know, throw a pity party for Rachel's mom, because at the end of the day, she wasn't the best mom she could have been to her kids. So it's not like I'm like, you know, feeling sorry for her or trying to put all the blame on the father, because at the end of the day, she's her own person. She is her own mother, her own woman, and, you know, regardless of whether she was in love or not, she should have known better. So, I mean, I don't really feel sorry for her, and I'm not trying to, like, make excuses for her. However, I will be honest, in that moment when, you know, Rachel was kind of, like, making her feel like as if everything was kind of her fault and, like, she could have did better and stuff, I kind of did feel in that moment like, dang, it must suck for single mothers who raise their children, even though she's not really the token mother for single mothers who actually do what they're supposed to do and raise their kids the entire time, not just half their life, but their entire life. She's not the token woman for single motherhood, but I'm just saying, like, it just reminded me in that moment, like, this must be that moment in life when it sucks when you have a teenager and you were a single mom raising your child this whole time, taking care of them, while their father stepped out a long time ago, abandoned them, didn't care to help out, didn't care to financially take care of you, whatever. And then now that the kid's grown and wants to get to know their father, then it's like, well, you could have did better, and don't blame it all on dad. And it's like, you're sitting there like, if you knew what your dad put me through and put y'all through when y'all was kids, you wouldn't be saying all the shit you're saying right now. And I feel like in that moment, that's probably how Rachel's mom was feeling, like, because it did kind of feel like Rachel was kind of blaming her mom, even though I understand she was kind of basically saying, like, it's not all his fault, like, you gotta take accountability too, which I understand, because her mom could have did better. You didn't have to be on drugs, regardless if you're in love or not, you still were a mother. But, you know, in a lot of situations, and sometimes as you see in this scene, even the kids do this, you know, the kids in the situation, where it's like the mom is always to blame, you know. It's always the mom's fault, and the dad always gets away scot-free, you know, even though he wasn't there the whole entire time. He'd been left, he'd been dipped out, but it's always like an excuse for him. Maybe, you know, he didn't have it together, or was mental illness, you know. But the mom who had the same issues but found a way to get the kids back, it's like not as much sympathy for her, you know. So I you know, that's just how I feel about it. And it was kind of weird seeing I forgot to talk about it. It was kind of weird seeing Rachel's sister cry. I think her name is Mallory. I just don't know if that's her name. I think it is, though. It was kind of weird because it was like, and I think that's why they were sitting there saying, like, why are you crying? Because to them, it's like, bitch, you're never here. Like, you never pick up your daughter. You're never here to see her. And, like, all of a sudden now you're, like, happy to see her and crying. Like, it was weird. Especially, like, seeing in the beginning of the episode, she was saying she was thinking about giving her up. So it was weird. But I think also in that moment, even though we can't feel her feelings, they don't know what she's feeling. But I think in that moment, she was feeling like, wow, I really might give this kid up. And I think it hit her. You know? Alright, so now we're moving on to Kaia. So Kaia is in labor. She's in labor. She's about to have her baby. And everything is everything. But then it was like, so did you tell your baby's daddy's mother that you're about to have the baby? No. Oh, okay. Well, did you tell your baby's daddy the due date of when you're going in labor and when you're about to have the baby? No. Okay, well, hey, I'm about to text I'm about to text your baby daddy's mother real quick and, like, just let her know that you have the baby, just out of courtesy, so she can come up here. Could she come up here? No. Okay. Like, she did not want no parts of her baby's daddy's mother at the hospital, okay? She wanted no parts. No parts. She did not want her to show up. She did not want her to know when the baby was born. She didn't want to hear from her. She ain't fucking with that lady. And let me tell you, I understand where Kaia is coming from. I truly do. I get it. The woman disrespected her more than one time. Not only did she disrespect her, but she disrespected her in the most vulnerable part of her life, when she's pregnant. When she, one, can't do anything, can't physically defend herself, and two, when she's the most emotional and vulnerable she's ever been in her life as a young pregnant woman. So it's like, I get why Kaia don't fuck with this lady. I get it. And you know what? I'm not even mad. I could see where some people would be like, well, she should have told her anyway because, you know, you only have your first grandchild or your first child once. And she robbed that moment from her, for her to see her grandson be born, or for her to be able to visit him in the hospital when he was first born. I understand that. I do understand that. However, oh well. In life, sometimes when you do certain things, you're going to have certain repercussions given back to you. There's a cause and effect in everything in life. If you cause issues in my life and you cause me to be stressed and you cause me to be upset every time I see you, then the effect is when I give birth to this baby, you ain't allowed there. You can see him when I get out the hospital. And I get that. Honestly, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I feel like if you're going to keep being toxic in my life, then you don't need to be in my life when the good shit happens. And I get that. The lady was toxic. She kept on trying to be buck and rough. And it's like, we don't need all that. Regardless if you feel how you feel, at the end of the day, you're a grown-ass woman and you're trying to fight a pregnant woman. Get out of here with that. And okay, yeah, you feel bad for doing it, but you did it. And not only did you do it once, but you did it twice. So it's like, you know, shit, the first time you fuck up, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. And Kaia's not going to keep being the shame on me bitch. No doubt. So I get it. Like, I understand, you know, I understand. And plus, Kaia's, that grandma ain't the baby daddy. She didn't make the baby. And according to her, Kaia got pregnant by herself. So if that's the case, then she need to be at the living room by herself. So you don't need to be there, sis. So it ain't nothing. Like, whatever. I agree with what Kaia did, honestly. That's how she felt. That's how she felt. It's her birth. She has to take care of this baby by herself because her baby daddy locked up. So she could do what she wanted to do. I don't really see nothing wrong with it. The only thing I would say, she could have told her baby daddy the due date. However, she did that for a reason because she didn't want his mom to show up. So I get it. So it is what it is. We're moving on. Okay, so like I said, excuse the noise in the background. They're still fucking around with the garbage and the trees and shit. They're maintaining out there in these apartments. So, but anyway, so now we're moving on to Ashley. So Ashley was like, I'm single again, okay, I'm going to go on a girl's trip, okay, and that's what she did. And then, you know, she had her good time or whatever, and then, wait, did she go on the trip already, or she's about to go on the trip? Yeah, I don't remember. I watched the episode like the other day. I wrote notes, but I don't remember if she actually went on the trip or she's just preparing to go on the trip. I'm sorry, I'm just being honest. But I do remember whether she went already or not. She talked to Bar about it, and you know, she was basically spitting game. Okay, spitting facts, not even game, spitting facts to Bar. She was spitting facts to Bar, letting Bar know, hey, look, buddy. Okay, just, you know, friend to friend, person to person, baby daddy to baby mama. Listen, buddy, we have known each other for 4 years, okay? And in 4 years, your friends have been passing you by. I have been passing you by. I got pregnant with a whole baby, your whole baby, and gave birth to your whole baby. And I still managed to go to school and get my certificate. I still managed to get a job and start working. I still managed to be on a TV show and, you know, get paid for explaining and talking about my life. What are you doing? Okay, we've been together 4 years. You didn't graduate from high school when I met you. It's been 4 years. You still haven't gotten your GED. You still haven't gotten a job. You're still living on somebody's couch. And I don't know if he's necessarily living on somebody's couch. He could have his own room. But I'm just saying, he don't got his own place. You know, we know he don't got his own place. How you got your own place if you ain't got a job or nothing to support yourself? So he's living with somebody. Who, we don't know. Who cares? But you just like, you're not doing nothing but just literally just waking up every day and just being alive. And I mean, I'm happy you're alive, but you gotta do more than that, especially as a father, okay? And like I said, I like him as a person. He seems like a cool dude from what he shows us on the show. But when it comes to being a partner, he ain't shit. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. He ain't shit. He don't know how to be a man. He don't know how to be a leader or a provider. And those are two crucial things that you need to have if you're going to be a man, and you're going to be a man that leads and provides for your family. And it's just sad and unfortunate that a lot of guys, especially in 2019, have it backwards, and they think that they don't have to provide or lead as a man, and they don't have to provide and lead for their family, for their woman, for their children. It's just sad. And Bar's one of those cases where you see he's a young man growing up who had sex, got a girl pregnant, and started a family, but he doesn't even want, not even can. It's not like he can't. He doesn't want. Okay? He doesn't want to lead and provide for his girls, his girlfriend and their daughter. You know, and you're raising a whole daughter. And you showing her that this is what she gotta look forward to in a man when she grows up, a man who just gonna get her pregnant and then not lead and provide for her, and she gonna have to do everything on her own, just like you have her mother do. Like, no God. And you know, she was basically just spitting free game and letting him know, like, look, you sitting here not doing nothing with your life. We've been together 4 years, and while these 4 years have gone by, everybody, including myself, has had children, has went to school, went to work, got her certificates or degrees, doing things, and you still sitting here doing nothing. And he was just sitting there, like, just taking it in, like, you know, I mean. And I will be honest, like, even though I'm not trying to give him brownie points, because, you know, I mean, he can't do nothing but accept what she's saying and just accept it for the truth, because that is the physical truth. That's the facts. That's the truth. Whether he likes it or not, that is his truth. That's his reality. However, most men, well, yeah, men who act like boys and who aren't leaders and all that, and who have like narcissistic ways, normally would have went off and got all mad and offended and felt some type of way because she's basically embarrassing him, especially on camera. But he just took it and was like, you know what? I mean, what you're saying is true. You're right. And I mean, that's really all he can do, because what she's saying is true and she is right. But there are some guys who, even though, you know, their woman speaking facts to them, they'll still get mad and try to flip it on the girl and, you know, go crazy and all this shit. So I'm glad he didn't do all that. I'm glad he just took it and understood what she was coming from. And that's why I say I like Bar, because there's not a lot of boys in particular, the male gender, there's not a lot of men who are able to admit when they're wrong and who are able to take in when somebody's basically telling him, like, you're wrong, you ain't doing shit, you ain't shit, and instead of him like getting mad, flipping out, he just accepts it and takes it in. And I do like that about him, and that's one of the characteristics I do like about him. However, when it comes to being a partner, he ain't shit. Then Ashley's right, he need to do better, and I wish he would do better for himself and then for his daughter. But and I'm sure he'll get there one day, but it's just unfortunate that, you know, Ashley got to him before he was able to get together, because it's like now she has to be a single mom, and I hate that for her, but you know, you live and you learn. And I'm gonna be honest, I honestly think that Ashley may be suppressing her feelings. Let me know, comment down below and let me know if you agree, if you feel that way as well, because I might not be the only one thinking this, because to me it seems like a little bit obvious, especially after watching the past episode that just passed. But, you know, let me know if you agree, or if you disagree, that's fine too. But comment down below and let me know. Like, it just seems like Ashley's, like, she's kind of nonchalant. Like, when she talks to her mom, because, you know, they showed her talk to her mom about her relationship with Bar a couple of times this season so far. And each time she talks to her mom, she just seems like she's kind of checked out of the conversation and also out of the relationship, which is understandable. I mean, I'd be checked out too. Like, she gave him so many chances. But I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, you know, having emotions and feelings about what's going on, it kind of feels like she's checked out of that as well. It's like, you know, and I'm not saying she needs to be crying and needs to be sad and needs to be depressed over him, because, you know, I'm happy she's not. You know, it's sad and unfortunate that a lot of girls do that when they're in a relationship, when they break up in a relationship. You know, you always hear, like, when a girl and a guy breaks up, the guy's usually back to doing his thing, he's out and about doing him, and the girl's at home crying, depressed for months at a time. So I'm happy that that's not the case in this situation. However, to me, just my personal feelings, it does come off like maybe she's suppressing her feelings a little bit, just to me. And maybe, hey, look, we don't know her what she does every single day. Maybe she does cry at night, maybe it does bother her, maybe when the cameras are not around, she's hurting and she's trying to get over it. And I hope that is the case, because it's better to, I'm not saying she needs to be depressed and crying about him for weeks and months, but I'm just saying, you know, it's nothing wrong with you if she spent a couple days crying about it and being sad about it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine, because I'd rather you as a person go through how you feel and get it out and get your feelings out and cry and get it out and feel it and get it out and feel it, And then after a week, after a couple days, even a month, then it's over with and you don't feel it no more. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hold it in and keep trying to push it down, and push it down, eventually it is going to come up. Whether you want it to or not, it's going to come up. Maybe not in the way you think it's going to come up, but eventually it will come up. And then, so usually when it comes up later, it's even worse because you've been suppressing it so long that by the time it got pushed back up, it's like it's even worse than it was before. So I really do hope that if she has some type of emotions and sadness and feelings about this breakup, that she actually does allow herself to feel the emotions and feel the pain so that she can get over it and move on, and not like make it a habit to be in toxic relationships or, you know, have trust issue or whatever, you know. I just want Ashley to be able to move on from this and to be happy from here on out. So I really hope that she's not suppressing any of her feelings, because even though I understand what she's saying, like her and Barb, even though they've been together for a while, they also like have been kind of like in a rocky space for like the past year. So I mean, it is understandable for her to feel like, well, I've already cried about this, you know, months ago when everything was fresh. I already was sad about it, so it's kind of like I'm just finalizing what's been going on. So that's understandable, but still, you know, that is the father of her child. They were together for 4 years, so it's only natural, or at least it's only natural for one to assume that, you know, she would be like upset and sad about it. And I don't want her to be depressed. I'll say that again. I don't want her to be depressed about it. I'm not saying she needs to be at home crying all day and every day. I don't want her to do that. She don't need to be doing that. I'm just saying I just hope she's also not suppressing her feelings as well, because you do need to feel it in order to get it up and out and move on, you know. So I don't want her to be depressed, but I also don't want her to suppress her feelings. Okay, so like this noise in the background is really annoying me. Like I hope it's really not that annoying and noisy for you guys, but to me it's irritating. But I'm not gonna redo this video because I'm already knee deep. Okay, but yeah, so this whole Breanna situation is just turned from regular, everyday single mom, young teen single mom, to Rachel's hillbilly moment. See, like she went from Breanna to Rachel's story. Okay, like I like it was like, girl, I don't know. Like Breanna's story was her story, and it was kind of similar to Kaia's, but it changed. And then now all of a sudden her story's turned into Rachel's story. Like she don't know who the baby daddy is, and she finds out who the baby daddy is, but he don't want to be the baby. Like it's just like Jerry Springer trailer park drama. Like I didn't expect this. Like I did not expect this, but here we go. So she thought her baby daddy was some other dude this whole time. Turns out he's not. Her baby daddy was this other guy that she had sex with that same week. But she just never thought he was the father. But he reached out to her. He reached out to her. She didn't reach out to him. He reached out to her and said, hey, I think your son might be my son as well. Let's get a test. Gets the test, finds out he is the father. Then she tells him, he says, oh shit, I need time to think about this. Okay, so now we're on a new episode, and basically her new baby daddy, well, he's been her baby daddy this whole time, she just ain't know it, but now she know it. So her new baby daddy, who was not there for her the entire pregnancy, who was not there for his son's delivery, and who has not been there since his son has been born, does not want to be in his son's life all of a sudden. Now listen, I understand he did not know that he was the father. He just happened to maybe, you know, click on pics and stuff and was like, hey, this kid kind of looks like me, maybe he's my son. And then over time was like, okay, this might be my son, let me let her know and let's find out. So I will give him that. I understand he didn't know he was the father. Probably if he knew, he probably would have been there for her during the pregnancy. He probably would have been there for the birth. Maybe, maybe not. So we don't know. But he wasn't. Regardless if he wanted to be or not, he wasn't. Also, on top of that, let's be honest, with him showing the fact that he was not really receptive or happy to know that that was his son, with him showing that he doesn't really want to be in his son's life and he's allowing his girlfriend, not his wife, but his girlfriend to dictate what kind of father he should be for his child, lets me know that even if he knew back then, he wouldn't have been there for that baby. He probably would have been there for the pregnancy, maybe the birth, maybe, and that's about it. He wouldn't have been there after, or it would have been off and on, or maybe he would have been there for just the birth and not the pregnancy, whatever. Like, just when you see, like, just with the way he's acting and everything is just showing me that he wouldn't have been a good father even if he knew from the beginning. And, you know, you can say woulda, coulda, shoulda, we don't know, but actions speak louder than words, and his actions showing, the way he's showing his actions now lets me know then he wouldn't have been shit. And it's just like, you have an obligation as a father to be that, a father. You already have a child, you have a daughter. So yeah, you know, your son was not something that you expected. Yeah, you know, he's not with your girlfriend and you're not married to this woman. You have no relationship with Breanna, so it's not like you really want to co-parent with a girl that you don't even have a relationship with, or a girl you haven't talked to in a while. But it is what it is. That's why they say don't have sex with people you don't want to have babies with. Okay, if you're gonna fuck just for fun, wrap it up. Okay, if it's just for fun, if you're gonna just be having sex just for fun, it's just fun sex, fun D, fun P. It's not because you were in love, or because you want a baby, or because you want a relationship, or because you're in a relationship, or none of that. It's just for fun. Wrap it up. It's easy. But y'all don't want to do that. Y'all want to make love and nut inside of every girl you fuck, even if you don't even know her name. But you're in it, so you gonna go full force. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, if you didn't want to be with Breanna, you didn't want her to be your girlfriend, or you weren't looking to have a long-term relationship with her or a baby with her, you should have wore a condom that night. But you didn't. So you got her pregnant. Wake up. Oh well. It's the consequences. You got the girl pregnant, so now you have a son. Congratulations, you are the father, so be that. Be a father. Okay, you have a daughter, your daughter needs to meet her brother. So you guys need to do that. But instead, you want to talk about, oh, well, I'll just pay child support, but I don't want to be in his life. And for those of you who think, well, at least he's paying child support, at least he wants to financially help, that's still not enough. Money doesn't raise a child. If that's the case, then we can just all come together as parents and just have kids, and each give our kids a certain amount of money. Let that money raise the kid while we go out and do our thing as a parent. Doesn't work like that. When you become a parent, you have to actually be that, a parent. You have to physically feed them. You have to physically bathe them. You have to physically change them, take them to school, make them lunch, make them dinner. You have to physically be in their life. Money is not enough. Yes, it helps provide for them. It helps make the bills get paid off. It helps put a roof over your head. It helps give you a car. But it doesn't raise your children. So that's not enough. And honestly, I'm not surprised this is happening. I had a feeling this was going to happen. Honestly, it's from last episode when he said, oh shit. When those were the first two words he said once he found out he was a father, I knew he wasn't going to be shit. Because those were the first two words he said. That just let me know he wasn't going to be shit. And then the fact that he's allowing his girlfriend to control everything is also sad too. Because it's like, you're your own person and you're your own father. You have a father of not only that daughter, but you're a father not only that daughter, but your son as well. So you're gonna allow a girl who you haven't even put a ring on it to dictate what kind of father you're gonna be to your son? Like, you're whack as fuck. You're whack as fuck. And I'm gonna be honest real quick, like, comment down below and let me know if I am not the only one who felt this way. And if I'm the only one that felt this way, you could let me know too. We could agree, disagree, that's fine. But at the end of the episode, when Breanna was like talking to her mom and she was like going off and just talking about how she felt and how upset she was about the situation, was it just me, or did it seem like Breanna was like putting on a little thick for the cameras? Like, I don't know, because just something about the way she was just going off and the way she was just standing there yelling like, and this is not what I want. I knew this was going to happen. Like, just something about the way she was standing there yelling and the way she was just like irritated. But when you looked at her face, she wasn't really angry. She was just sounding angry because she was speaking really loud. Something about that scene just gave off like, you're putting on for the cameras a little bit. And listen, I understand that she feels upset and she feels some type of way, because any person would. So I'm not saying that her feelings aren't valid. I'm not saying that she didn't feel some type of way or she genuinely wasn't upset. But it's just something about the way she was projecting her voice and the way her face looked as she was speaking and yelling out how she felt. Just something about that just gave off like, either the producers told you to say how you felt, like told you to go downstairs and like act like you're upset to your mom, and so that's what she did, or she just told herself like, okay, I'm gonna just make it seem like I'm hecka mad because the cameras are here and I want my storyline to look good this week. Look, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's just my opinion. Like, I'm not saying how she felt wasn't true and how she felt wasn't valid, because I do believe she was upset about it. But it's just something about the way she was like talking to her mom, the way she was yelling and projecting her voice. It just gave off like very reality show vibes. Like, it was like she was like trying to pretend like she was madder than she actually was, because the cameras were there and she was just trying to put on a good scene for the episode. That's just my opinion. That's what that gave me. That was my opinion. Alright, so this is my review for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back next week. I do apologize that I don't come as quickly as the show airs, but I have a real life. In real life, I be tired, I be busy, so I'm not always able to record as soon as the show drops, but I will make sure that I post a review video every single week. I will try to also get the video out before the new episode airs. Like, I know a new episode is supposed to air tonight, so this video I'm gonna try to edit it and post it today so that this video is out before the new episode airs. If not, it for sure will be up tomorrow, and then I will do the new review for the new episode later this week. I will try to get it out before each episode airs, but if not, for sure there will be a new review every single week. So yeah, and I have reaction videos to do as well, but I'll probably do those tomorrow. No, I'll probably do them today, but it'll be later because I got things to do right now. So if I don't do it today, for sure I'll do it tomorrow, but it'll get done though. But I'm gonna try to get this review up today. So see you guys very soon, because I got more videos coming in the near future, whether that be today or tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this review. Comment down below if you guys have anything you want to say. If you agree with me, comment down below. If you disagree with me, that's fine too. Comment down below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, comment down below and let me know. I'll see you guys very soon. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe if you would like to. Bye.